Well, hello folks out there in YouTube land. Got a big show lined up for you, and let's get right on into it. All right, let's pull up the screen. NIO, man, it's having a tough time along with a lot of other stocks. There are so many stocks out there that are struggling. And this one's got a couple of real problems that are not associated with the fundamentals of the company, but they're just knocking the crap out of us. So let's get into why NIO is struggling and why the force is not with us right now. All right, first things first, the market is just getting hammered. I mean, hammered. Some of the best stocks in the world are getting crushed. And when you see companies like Amazon and Facebook and Google, and Google's, God, they do nothing but print money. So does Facebook, and they've been hammered. So this is a really vicious time. And the force is not with the market at all. That's for sure, and definitely not for NIO. I mean, basically, this is what it's like for NIO.
You pay the price for your lack of vision.
Yep, that's pretty much what it's like for the NIO investors. Between the delisting fears and then the RONA over there and how they're dealing with that crap, it's just hammering us. It's really ridiculous. And I told you last time I covered NIO that our pets' heads were falling off. Well, now we've got the emperor hitting us with lightning strikes. It's just something all the time. And it has nothing to do with the fundamentals of the company, which are very good. Now, very important tomorrow, we've got the CPI coming out, which I call the CPI. And it's going to come out and hopefully be below 8.5%. That would help. Around 8 would at least calm the markets a little bit. If it's 8.5 or higher, the market's not going to like that at all. That would be terrible. Like I said, I don't trust the CPI. To me, it's very political, but we'll see how it plays out tomorrow. But that's going to be very important. As far as the delisting is concerned, that's really one we're just going to have to watch very carefully. We know that the Chinese government has been talking very positively about working something out with the SEC so that these companies don't get delisted. Now, understand there's going to be hundreds on that list. It's not going to be just the 80 or the 3 that it started out with. And NIO's part of that, XPeng is too, or Lee. I can't remember if it's all 3 of them or at least 2 of them. And the third one will get listed shortly, I would expect. And it's really a matter of, look, this is a law. You've got to be audited to be on the New York Stock Exchange. And if you don't, you're going to end up getting delisted over time. Now, it's going to take a long time, but obviously the market is not liking even the thought of it, because it would be really bad for NIO and any other stock that's listed to get delisted, because then you lose the West, and the West is where most of the money is. So it'd be kind of tragic for any of those companies to get delisted. And it'd probably knock it down, probably in the $5 neighborhood is what I would guess it would be worth if it got delisted. That's just a guess on my part. I don't really have any fundamental basis on that other than I just think it'd be devastating. And I don't think it'll happen because it would be unbelievably stupid for China to allow it to happen. It would crush their economy. It would crush their companies. It would just be, as I've said before, galactically stupid. As far as the RONA and how they're shutting down on that, I don't understand it. It makes absolutely no sense. It's not going to work long term. I would have thought they would have already started pivoting away from that, because this newest version that they're dealing with over there, we've already dealt with it. It went right through our country, and we were done with it in about 6 to 8 weeks. And China's decided they're going to use their zero tolerance policy or whatever. It's not going to work. So, that's really hurting everything. It's hurting supply chains. It's hurting deliveries. And let's take a look at deliveries. And as you can see, the deliveries started coming back in March after a real bad February where they were closed for 2 weeks. And then March was looking good. And then we got hit with the RONA shutdowns, which killed deliveries for April. And here comes that little bastard, Chucky, nailing us again. We just don't need that. That's the last thing we need right now. And it's probably going to affect May too, I'm sure. And it's just, it's really unfortunate. NIO doesn't deserve it, but it's getting hammered because of it.
Pain.
And we've got some real positives going on with NIO. It says the big breaking news. It actually had NIO up about 8% earlier today, but then it crashed on back down to about 0. I think it might have been 1% down. And it says it's nearing its dream of building a mass market electric vehicle brand. And it said China-based new energy vehicle-focused website CNEV Post reported development this morning. It sounds significant for NIO's future. It said the market was quick to swoop up some shares because of it. said they reported that NIO had signed an agreement with an economic development zone in Hefei, China, to build a plant for its new mid to high-end brand, which is a sub-brand. Said the plant is expected to be completed and start production as early as 2024, and it will be competing with the Volkswagen, Tesla type of brands. It's going to be, I think they said it was going to be, $30,000 to $50,000 vehicles. So, something that's very affordable for the middle income, and should be quite popular, I would think. And this is pretty typical, where a company will come out with a particular brand and then they'll do a sub-brand, or they might do the opposite. They might have a regular brand and then do a premium brand. We've seen that with Lexus and many other vehicles that have done that. It says NIO often said it dreams about building affordable EVs for the masses that are also better than Tesla cars, which I don't know if they'll be any better than Tesla. If they're as good as Tesla, that'd be great. It says whether or how NIO cars will beat Tesla's anyone guess. I'd agree with that. Then they talk about how they think NIO shares will rise. And here's the thing about NIO. Look, if they get this delisting squared away and they release people to go out and do their job in China, this stock will probably skyrocket. It will probably double or triple. But, if the delisting happens, it'll probably crash even worse. I'm almost certain it would. So we've got a lot going on with this, and this stock is not for everybody. Look, you're investing in a company that's in another country, and even though the fundamentals are good, and I understand that, it's vehicles that are very popular, they're high-end, they're very high quality, people love them, and they're probably going to be very successful over time. I mean, they sold over 100,000 vehicles last year, and I just feel real good about that. But, we've got some politics that are really creating a problem, and the question is, will China come to their senses? They seem to usually do that, because if you'll notice, their economy is the second biggest in the world. Well, there's no way, if that was truly a communist country, that would be the case. If you want to see what a communist country looks like, look at Russia. Their economy's puny, just little tiny thing. Whereas China's number 2 and probably going to overtake us. So they are a communist in name, and a lot of their politics are communism, but their economy acts like a capitalist country, or at least some version of it. So I'm going to stick with it, and I'm going to buy at these lower points, but that's what I'm doing. That doesn't mean you should do it. I mean, I'm more comfortable the lower it goes because the risk goes lower. But, this is tough. This is a very tough time in the market, and NIO is struggling. And as we look at the stock itself, it's sitting at $13.44. It dropped below that support of $14.40. I actually bought some there. I have not bought at the $13.40 yet. I'm waiting to see if it does go down in the 12s. I like to buy at $2 increments when it gets down below these type of supports. It's just something that I do. And I only buy on big red days, in which there's been plenty of opportunities to do that recently. I never buy on a green day, but that's just something that I do. But if this thing gets down in the 12s, I'll definitely buy some more. And I've been buying all the way down, and I'm going to continue to do so. And I'm going to take my chances. What it boils down to is the fundamentals of the company are fine. That's why I'm continuing to invest, and I think cooler heads will prevail over time, but like I said, we'll see. And to stick with the theme of this particular video, this is what I hope for everybody.
May the Force be with you.
That's right. May the Force be with you. We need the Force to be with us on this one. That's for sure. Anyway, if you like this content, be sure to hit that like button. Lets me know to continue to cover NIO. And if you haven't subscribed, hit that subscribe button. I'd certainly appreciate it. And I hope you did like the content. And we'll see you next time on Mr. Frugal Investor. And Emperor Palpatine needs to go on about his business and leave us alone. I'm sick of him.